We actually interviewed somebody, Robin Wilson, who is the CEO of Robin Wilson Home, and she actually dated Robert Duvall for 4 years, and she met through a matchmaker, which she did not have, but Robert Duvall did. So when you think about exceptions like that, when you're very wealthy, you're very famous, having the opportunity to meet people, and her story was absolutely fascinating. So that's an example of where it would definitely be valuable to have somebody at your disposal to really help you connect with the right people of your interests. So, do you have any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
I just wondered, I know that you mentioned the gentleman, a lot of times you would set them up and they would pick the first 2 or 3 times and it wouldn't be a good match and he'd say, now let me take over and let me show you. Does that happen a lot with the women too? Do they come in thinking that they want something but that's what they're attracted to, but maybe that's not actually what makes a good long-term match for them? Do you see that a lot of times people are going after something that just isn't really right?
So the question has to do with the fact that we talked earlier about how men maybe pick based on visual preference over substance, and then after that experience they came back and Christy said, now let's begin to look, and the question was, is that true for women as well? Do you find that to be the same thing?
I don't really find that women are that visual. I mean, the exercise that I perform with the men is about proving to them that they can't just meet somebody based on a snapshot and then that's going to be their soulmate. It's about meeting somebody and connecting with them. So women seem to already get that, so I don't even have to really go there.
I think not even just on a visual, but maybe they think they want someone that's a provider, but really maybe the money's not important when it comes to the relationship. Maybe it's that they really want someone who's going to take care of them, but they don't have to be wealthy. Or maybe, like, do you find that people get hung up on one thing or they always date kind of like a bad boy persona, but that's not someone they're really ever going to have a long-term relationship with, so you have to coach them into finding someone who's, I just wondered if people are often going after the wrong type.
Well, during the initial interview, we spent a lot of time discussing their relationship history, and I often ask them what have they learned from those different experiences, and we break them down. You know, if they have been married, what went on there, what attracted them initially, and what led to the divorce, and how did things end in the long-term relationships, if there's certain patterns. I have had some women that have gone out with the bad boy type time and time again, but he was really good looking, but then, he was married. Oh, he's really good looking, but, he had a drug problem. It's just like, okay, what do you want? I mean, do you want a relationship that the man is actually going to respect you? Or do you want to just be groveling on him because he's good looking? I mean, women, they're receptive. They're like, no, I'm ready to take a different approach at this. Where men, I'm telling you, it's like they have to go through the agony of it for you to finally wake them up.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to listen to you. They know all, But then once they do it, it's like, okay, I got you. You're fine,
I think women, we check in with our girlfriends. We talk and we really want to learn, especially after we've had that heartbreak time and again, and we go, I'm ready to stop doing this. It may take a few times, but women, I think, are more eager to say, okay, I'm going to listen, where I think men do really have to go through the experience before they kind of get it, feel the pain a little bit more than women do. Yeah. But we all do. I think we all learn by feeling pain, and failure is that. Now, I think we had a question over here.
Oh, yeah. It's a 1-year membership, and we guarantee at least a minimum of 10 to 12 introductions. And it says minimum. There isn't a maximum cap off. So as quickly as somebody can go out on a date, and if they'd like to pursue the next one, I require feedback. So the person has to provide me with written feedback, and then once I get that, we move on to the next match. Feedback onto the next, and that's how the process goes. It's just been determined through the term of a year that it's about sensible that 12 introductions is fair, and it allows the person to go out with the individual and often explore a second, maybe third date, not freeze their membership, but then continue the process with another person. and then getting, schedules together. Sometimes it requires also a couple to talk for about a week or two until they can get their schedules aligned so that they can meet.
Do you ever have people
So-
call you and just say, I have to go to this gala, this function, this event? Can you get me a date?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Actually, one of my clients in New York had this big Christmas party at the New York Times, and he said, "Can you get me a date?" And I said, "Yeah, actually, I can. I have somebody that I have had in mind, and she's a really fun gal, and she loves parties, and it was a perfect match, I thought, for him." They're still together, and they're really
Oh.
happy, and things are going. And again, it's young as far as the relationship, but we're heading into the 3-month period, I guess maybe. They met in early December, so yeah.
That's kind of nice to put somebody in a retainer just for dates. Yes, do you have a question?
There's a lot of TV shows, Millionaire Matchmaker, Tough Love on VH1. Does that help or hurt with your service? Do you find that people get really, influenced by these shows and then come to you and it's too glamorized or that's not the way it is?
The question has to do with the TV reality series out there, Millionaire Matchmaker, which I've seen that a couple of times, Bachelor, The Bachelorette, those kinds of shows. How have they affected your business? Has it been a positive influence, a negative?
I truly believe it's been a positive, and the reason why I believe that is because it has shed light and has also exposed the industry as far as these types of services existing. I don't work in the same way. My business model is not set up like these shows. I don't, put a man in a cocktail party and have a bunch of women fawning on him, and then he can pick who he wants. I mean, that is just so
It really is. It's
disrespectful for
it
women.
is. It is.
It works for TV though, but I've had people say, "I watched this show and I finally thought I'd give you a call. Do you work like this?" And then I think, I know that everybody that I speak to that calls because they've seen these shows is thankful to hear that my business model is not set up like that. So, but I think all these shows, the internet, dating, all of this, I think through the 10 years I've been working at this, it has, I think, lifted the stigma about going out on blind dates. People don't feel so insecure anymore about looking into services to help them. 10 years ago when I started, when I was working out in California learning the industry, there was still so much of that, well, I got to hire a service, I'm a loser. Where you don't hear that anymore.
Right, right.
So
I think that's really good.